Are you ready to enhance your sourcing and negotiation skills with Claude Code? This lesson focuses on PreToolUse hooks for pre-negotiation briefs. Let's explore how these hooks ensure quality control. Here is the distinction this lesson makes concrete. In Lesson 3, the PostToolUse hook fired after the deviation cost file was written. The file existed on disk with a TBD cell. The hook reported the problem. Someone then had to fix it and rewrite the file. A PreToolUse hook works before the write process begins. It reads the content Claude is about to save. The hook either approves the write or blocks it completely. If the hook exits with code 0, the write proceeds. If the hook exits with code 1, the write is canceled. Airport security requires passport verification before boarding. Passengers can reach the gate before final verification. Passport validation is required before boarding approval. The gate blocks boarding if passport checks fail. Security checks prevent unauthorized boarding access. PreToolUse is the initial gate. PreToolUse blocks incomplete negotiation briefs before saving. BATNA sections must be included in negotiation briefs. Walkaway prices must contain dollar figures. Validation rules are enforced during the writing process. Incomplete versions are never written to disk. The writing process only continues after validation succeeds. The pre versus post distinction is architectural. PreToolUse is for rules that must prevent a bad state from existing. PostToolUse is for rules that detect a bad state and report it. Both are quality gates. They operate at different points in the workflow. On screen is your terminal. Type Claude and press Enter. Wait for the Claude code prompt. Paste the script creation instruction on screen and press Enter. The instruction tells Claude to create script/check brief completeness. Pi. Wait for Claude to confirm the script was created. Review the walkaway proximity check logic carefully. The 300-character window must find a $sign. Precise logic prevents incorrect brief approvals. Read all input using sys.stdin.read at once. Use sys.stdin.read to process all input together. Line-by-line loops can wait for additional input. The script must not hang during execution. Update the proximity check logic before proceeding. On screen is the settings.json file. You are going to add the PreToolUse hook alongside the PostToolUse hook. Both must be present. Replace the entire content with the JSON structure shown and save. What you should see is a hooks object with 2 keys. Confirm 4 things before closing the editor. The top-level key is hooks. Both PreToolUse and PostToolUse are nested inside hooks as sibling arrays. Both matcher values are right with a capital W, and both command paths match the actual locations of the scripts. After saving, validate the JSON structure manually. Mismatched brackets or a trailing comma will cause the entire settings file to fail. Open a terminal and run python mjson.tool, claude/settings.json. If the command prints the file content back, the JSON is valid. On screen is your terminal. Type Claude and press Enter to start a new session. Wait for the Claude code prompt. Paste the incomplete brief instruction on screen and press Enter. The instruction tells Claude to write a pre-negotiation brief with missing elements. Watch the terminal carefully. The hook activates before Claude confirms the file write. Blocked messages identify missing required elements. The write operation is cancelled after validation failure. The file is not written to disk after cancellation. Verify validation happens before file creation. Blocked alerts identify missing required elements. Both missing elements must be listed in the message. Outputs folder must not contain the negotiation brief file. Check settings.json command field if the file appears. Claude proceeds after the validation test passes. Claude is ready after the block test passes. Paste the complete brief instruction and press Enter. The brief is created for Redline Logistics LLC, include the May 7, 2026 submission deadline. The pre-negotiation brief contains 8 sections. The validation block test completed successfully. Watch the sequence in the terminal. The hook fires before the write. The script finds both BATNA and the walkaway price with a dollar figure. It prints the approval message. Then Claude confirms the file was written. Verify 6 required checks before write confirmation. Confirm the pre-negotiation brief exists in the Outputs folder. Ensure Redline Logistics LLC and the $9.2 million contract value appear correctly. If the hook still blocks, the proximity check is failing. Ask Claude to show you the exact text around the walkaway phrase. Calculate the character distance to the nearest $sign. If the distance exceeds 300 characters, adjust the window, type /quit to close the session. The rule from this lesson: PreToolUse prevents a bad state from existing. PostToolUse detects a bad state after it exists. Both are quality gates. They solve different problems. A brief that reaches a CPO without a BATNA is a bad state that cannot be corrected after the fact. 4 mistakes that break the PreToolUse hook. 1. Checking for a $sign anywhere in the document. 2. Using a short-circuit evaluation. 3. A wrong matcher case. 4. Not validating the JSON structure and settings. JSON before restarting Claude Code. Thank you. In the next lesson, you will build the counter-proposal document. The PreToolUse hook ensures the brief was complete when written. The PostToolUse hook ensures the deviation cost table has a dollar figure in every cell.